listening to Murder Clown Asker and Murder Clown Asker only. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. It's a Royal Rumble thing. Look it up. Welcome to Doctor Who Reviews. This week, well, firstly, I'm back. I'm delighted to be back. Had some really difficult things to deal with in the past few weeks, which have prevented me from getting on this show. They prevented me from doing a thing for, what was it last week? The Rabus operation?
Yeah.
But I think we'll agree that my replacement thing was 100 times better.
something Common Rider.
Something Common Rider.
See, is it bad that I didn't actually listen to the entirety of that just because I was so annoyed at the fact that my audio mixing was terrible?
Oh, no.
What's that? Cat didn't listen to the podcast?
Get the shame bell out. That's a new edition.
Yeah, she got some new toys.
That's a very overdue edition, but... And now she's stepping up Morse code.
What's that? The Titanic hit an iceberg? Little Timmy fell down the well?
I was going to say, what's that skip? Little Timmy fell down the well.
That's okay. I also have this as an automatic button.
I was born in the United States of America.
Touche.
Hey, who are all these nerds that are talking?
Can you believe I missed this? No, I can't either. Well, this week we're here to discuss the Fifth Doctor serial, The King's Demons. It sounds a lot more grand than it actually is, believe me. And to discuss it with me, I'm joined by two co-hosts. Firstly, to my virtual left. Now you bow to him. They took his dreams but not his name. It's Freezing Inferno.
Ooh, I'm all regal. I like it.
And to my virtual right. Out of the gate, coming your way, don't disobey. This is her brutality. It's Cat. This is her clown horn as well.
Excuse you, that was a spooky dude.
Spooky doot?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to question it. Thank you, Spooky Doot. I knew it was coming. God damn it.
Enjoy the 40 cents you would have made off this
That
video.
definitely went too long to not enable monetization. Thanks for that.
We make money off this video? Since when?
Never. Since never.
When the hell do I get paid?
Since the 32nd of January.
Bruh.
What the hell was that second voice?
Bruh.
Yes. So the King's Demons.
I have some new stuff.
Matt Riddle, is that you?
Matt.
Bro.
So, bruh. Now, this is...
It sounds like someone trying to throw up.
Bruh.
Okay. There may or may not be opportunities to use that again during this discussion of this story. So the King's Demons, then.
The final story of season 20 of Doctor Who. It's almost 40 years old.
It's not aged well.
And much like a 40-year-old, it's terrible.
It's not aged well, and I'm really annoyed because it first was shown on my birthday weekend. How dare
I'm only 33, don't at me.
So, here's the thing, and I've just noticed this, a lot of Classic Who kind of has, like, underwhelming finales, but when you look at the Peter Davison years, those 3 years, it's like, they always go on for one story too long and end on a sour note.
Yes.
Like, Peter Davison season 1, the penultimate story, Earthshock. I don't really like Earthshock, but I'd argue that shock, boom, that would have been an interesting and shocking way to close
it should have been a finale, shouldn't it, with the death of
Instead we get 4 episodes of Time Flight, which is not
terrible.
A winner. Season 20, we had the whole Black Guardian trilogy. Enlightenment was before this. Tall ships in space, the White and Black Guardians, the Eternals. What an interesting story. And then we follow it up with what we're about to talk about, which is underwhelming in comparison. And then Peter Davison's final season, his final story, Caves of Androzani. This bleak and dark, desperate struggle for survival that finally ends with the swan song of the Fifth Doctor. And what do we follow up that with the last episode of the season? The Twin Dilemma!
Androzani, genuine classic. Twin Dilemma, not so much.
So it's like, they always overran these by one, and not.
I mean, to be fair, this is the beginning of the end for Doctor Who.
Yeah, we're pretty much like after this is beginning of the
Was
end.
Warriors of the Deep in season 20?
No, that would be next year. Big opening of season 21. So,
Right.
yeah.
So
Because we all know that Colin Baker's Years was a classic, and it was in fact Sylvester McCoy that ruined everything for Doctor
hey
Who.
now.
You're an all-star. Get your game on.
Get your game on.
That is
Play.
That is slander. I love the fact that both of you did it at once, but also that is slander of Sylvester McCoy. I will not hear it.
Yeah, I'll not hear it too, but this may be what some people back then actually.
I will turn this car around.
So,
No, see, the fun thing is, you two know that I'm joking.
Yes, I know.
Yes, I know. But I was also making a point that that's Sylvester McCoy slander, but you were joking, so it's okay.
Yes, it's a joke.
Because he was
So,
Speaking of old memes, my God.
King's Demons then, written by Terence Dudley, who created some real bangers. For the Doomsday, which Black Orchid, which is interesting more in a trivia sense than in an actually good sense.
It's the most successful of Peter Davison's run. Funnily enough,
really,
it's the highest rated story of Davison. Yeah.
Really?
No, we can't say anything bad about Terence Dudley ever.
Okay. He did do say it, Cap.
The K9 and Company TV pilot.
All right.
Oh, in that case,
all
you
right.
need the criticism. Okay.
And the novelization of it.
All right.
He's immune for criticism. I accept that.
Also, really funny, Peter Davidson actually hated this guy because he hated the work on Black Orchid.
Fair enough.
Which I haven't seen yet, so...
I mean, Peter Davison was known to hold grudges, so I can believe it.
Oh, is the high... What rating did this
We
get?
all know he's held a decades-old grudge against David Tennant. That's not true. That's a joke. But
Wow. 10 million. Wow. That is pretty good.
There is a great picture of him at a fan convention with David Tennant. He's holding a sign saying, "He's not that special." But then, even better, after their respective appearances in The Power of the Doctor, they updated it. And so he appeared behind a big outside. Okay, maybe he is that special.
Oh, Christ.
I mean, to be fair, Peter Davidson did let David Tennant marry their daughter.
They actually get on like really, really well. It was just like a fun joke they did.
I'm just going to wait for you to realize what I said.
Yeah, I know what you said.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, the Doctor's daughter is wild in, with the benefit of hindsight.
The weird meta recursion element of it, yes. So this story, it's only 2 parts long for Classic Who. So
Thank God.
It's about 50 minutes. Thank God. I don't think I could have even in the 2-part format, you can see some writers gotta eat really bleeding through just to make something, because otherwise there's fucking nothing here.
This is creepy
Frez,
so much.
this entire thing is just writers gotta eat.
This serial is creaking so much, it's about to collapse.
Let's plunge into the King's Demons, I guess.
If we must.
Well,
Yes.
we must, because Cat picked it, so...
The good thing is, yet again, we're getting it out of the way.
True.
That's true.
So we were on the set of the Blackadder then.
I wish we were watching Blackadder.
I mean,
At least...
it's funny because actually, this is like a popular conspiracy theory that it was filmed on the set of the Blackadder, and it probably wasn't. But there is a particular fact about a particular prop that makes it, almost fit. But it's a medieval banquet hall, and we've got all the trappings of, medieval life. We've got 2 dogs on a rug. We've got a jester, a very colourful jester, running around doing very silly things to
Dudes are
himself.
playing the lute. and they're eating like a suckling pig, and probably got one of those big turkey legs.
I like that the jester has the most colourful costume. That's in
well,
character.
I mean, we're still a year out from Colin Baker's.
Damn it! You stole my joke. I was about to say the colourful jester, or as he's also known as Colin Baker. God damn it!
Well, I can safely say that this is probably not on the set of Blackadder, if only because there is a Hugh here, but it's not Hugh Laurie.
Oh my goodness!
Is instead the son of the lord of this fine castle and this fine hall.
And of course, we can hear because there's no Brian Blessed.
There almost was. There almost was.
Of course, there almost was.
Yeah, there almost was Brian Blessed in this story.
I was making a shit post because you said Blackadder.
I know, but he was considered for the part of Sir Ranulph.
Oh God!
No, genuinely,
that would have been amazing.
There was an absolute laundry list of potential other actors to play Ranulph.
Oh, fucking Ranulph! I swear to God,
he's not great. But we've got Joss Ackland, George Baker, who would show up in Full Circle. Gillian Glover from City of Death, Michael Jaston, who of course would be the Valeyard, T.P. McKenna, who would be the Explorer, Captain Cook. So a lot of these people went on to be in
not like
Doctor
the
Who.
Historical Captain Cook, the space one from Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
The fun arsehole from Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He's a fun character, but he's also terrible. But
yes, but for more on that, go to our Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Clifford Rose, you get the point. A lot of people were considered.
Clifford Rose, Warrior's Gate.
Clifford Rose, Peter Vaughan. Wow, Peter Vaughan was never in Doctor Who, and Edward Woodward was also never in Doctor Who.
What fun facts! So, what's going on in this medieval court?
Well, the king is offending his host.
As you do when you're king, I guess.
He is the aforementioned Ranulph Fitzwilliam, if I don't think his actual surname is mentioned. I think that's in a novelisation. But Ranulph then...
I do not remember.
He is basically extorting his host for more taxes.
Yeah.
And Ranulph protests. He says, Sire, I've given you, everything to the Crusades. And I'm glad to do it, but I have nothing else to give you. And then the son, who, again, we've seen this actor before, playing him. About 40 years after this came out. 30.
2013.
I'll give you a clue. It's one of my favourite Peter Capaldi episodes.
Oh, he's Professor Morehouse.
Give that girl a gold star. Yeah.
Who's Professor Morehouse?
Mummy on the Orient Express.
He was on Mummy.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Forfeit him.
Okay.
He was also, I can't pronounce that name, in the Doctor Who audio story Absolution.
Which we haven't covered yet, and probably never will.
Probably not.
You don't want.
But I'm just going to subtly close the Doctor Who TARDIS wiki that I opened up to find out that information. And we're going to pretend that I figured it out all on my own.
Ah, yes.
Kess, we're going to take a shower. We'll be right back.
The not entirely villainous wiki.
I don't know if
Who
Kat
within
heard
5
that.
seconds changed it back from, the
Oh yeah,
underwater
that came up again because they're doing season 9 of Classic Doctor Who, which is the third John Pertwee season, and it has the original Seaboy story on it. So they did this little thing with Jo Jones, as she's called now, and she's in the cave, and they have and this, I swear to God, this is an idea I had for Doctor Who fan fiction. I
know it is. You've told me this before.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before.
Oh yeah.
I have it. I have fucking cat where it's a little baby aquatic Silurian. It's like a baby Yoda thing, and of course Joe calls it by the name. And it's
Well, of course she does, because that's the name it's recognised by most people. But I agree it's not right, but that's why.
I know. Just because doesn't mean I can't still be like.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it's okay. They're, fake aliens. I mean, it's not like we have real world consequences for explicit racism or anything like that.
It's not like it's fucked up to see a baby and call it by what's basically a slur. No.
No, not messed up in the slightest.
No.
But
That
anyway,
being said, that season, aside from Sea Boys, is a banger because you've got Curse of Peladon,
yeah.
you've got Day of the Daleks, you've got the Mutants, which we haven't covered, but is an interesting sort of anti-colonialist segregation thing. And the fucking Time Monster, which I maintain is glorious.
People have been calling season 9 underrated, and yeah.
I don't know about.
But you know, Doctor Who's not political whatsoever.
Anyway,
I mean, people that don't like politics will probably have a field day with this because there's not really much politics in it, except there is, because it's up medieval England. But
anyway, back to the King's Demons.
I'm making fun of them. It's all right. The joke is there's politics and everything.
Here, I can make fun of them too. Politics and everything, you dinguses. Stupid
No, see, you've done it too much. Now I'm immune.
But I'm not.
Hooray!
God damn it!
Woohoo! I can do this whenever I want now. It's great.
Thank you, Homer Simpson.
You see? I don't know why the fuck you were breaking about this for so long. I mean,
No, seriously,
it's
that was
just
a
stupid raspy
pitch
voice.
perfect Homer Simpson woohoo.
Excellent. We finally did it. We immunized Cat.
But not me.
Yeah. Totally did.
I think the Jenny vaccine might be faulty.
Okay.
So the king is really offended by the excess taxes being taken out, and the king's offended by the fact the Lord doesn't want to pay the excess taxes, and so his champion issues a challenge.
Oh God, his champion.
And this is where Hugh steps in, who is the son of the Lord, and he decides to take up the challenge, which his parents are not very happy about.
Should we talk about the champion?
Oh, can we? Because this is.
I mean, okay. Can we just say it?
It's the master.
But you can tell immediately who it is.
It's like
I will say that just because of the lighting, I wasn't able to tell which one was the master until they got out into the sunlight.
Fair
so
enough.
As long as you don't look too closely and it's dark enough.
Okay.
As long as you don't look closely at him or hear his terrible French accent and Anthony Amy Master breaking through it all the time.
I didn't even realize it was supposed to be French.
Okay, maybe let's just devil's advocate for 1 second. It was 1983. Maybe on a shitty little CRT from across the sitting room, and you're 8 years old, you can't tell it's the master.
No, bollocks.
Oh
you
yeah,
can tell
I'm
it's
sure
the
that
master.
blew some like 8-9-year-old's mind at the time.
This is not.
Any other context, it's fucking obviously him. He's not even trying to disguise himself.
I'm not having this.
I would also like I would like to point out that apparently John Nathan Turner had the Radio Times credit that role as being played by James Stoker.
Yeah. What's that?
Which is an anagram of Master's joke.
I do love that.
And that's beautiful.
They do this a lot. They do this a lot for Anthony Ainley Master. And they brought it back with The Timeless Children and Barack Stemis. Yeah.
Also, you know, even before, well, it's funny you mentioned The Timeless Child because, of course, that's going back to, remember 2007 when the show was good? Because Russell T Davies did it. Mr. Saxon is an anagram of Master Number 6.
Yeah. And Torchwood is an anagram of Doctor Who. Now I've blown all your minds.
Oh my God!
But yeah. But here's the thing. The Saxon thing worked because he you don't think of Mr. Saxon spelt the full way. Mister. That's a hidden anagram.
I mean, it also worked because he looked nothing like the Master that we last saw.
That too. This guy is literally called Estrum. Sir Giles Estrum. Again, they do this a lot because when he first shows up as Anthony Ainley, he's Tremus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was an actual fucking surprise. The Master being back.
That was a huge surprise. And very well
one
done.
Day,
Yeah.
And one day we'll do the Keeper. I don't really particularly like the Keeper of Traken, but we have to do it to do Legopolis, and the Legopolis is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's a notable Fourth Doctor story, if not a great Fourth Doctor story, The Keeper of Traken.
Yeah. But anyway, we got sidetracked.
But yeah,
again.
this is Sir Gilles Estram. It's the Master. He's meant to be French. There was a real Sir Gilles Estram, according to outside media, who the Master replaced. Reed killed.
I'm gonna be completely honest though. I mean, up until the Doctor said, has he always had a Frenchman around him? I had no idea the Master was supposed to be French.
His accent is not great.
He doesn't even have an accent, as far as I could tell. And then
he
immediately
tries,
after the whole Frenchman thing,
he tries
then I
to
heard
sort of pronounce certain words in French, and he fails miserably. I don't want to be too harsh on Anthony because I think he was actually a pretty good Master, and of course he's no longer around to defend himself. But I don't think this was his best work.
No, it was not. Anyway, they joust.
And the Master wipes the floor with him. Just absolutely wipes the floor with him. But at one point, our heroes interrupt the proceedings.
Hardest just shows up in the middle of the fucking jousting competition.
That's a great set piece. There are little bits here that I can appreciate if they were done in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was something.
See, and the worst part is the worst part about all this is that they reappear here in actual medieval times. If they reappeared in a Renaissance fair, then everybody like, oh, they're the Star Trek cosplayers again.
Excellent joke.
I love. There's I don't know what it was, a Tumblr post or something, but someone that like if any Star Trek cosplayer showed up to the Renaissance fair, they'd be like, oh, strange clothes you have, and pull them aside. What are you doing? God damn it! You're violating the Prime Directive. I've been studying these people undercover for months. When Starfleet hears about this, you're gonna be shit canned.
I will admit, I'm actually going to go to a Renaissance fair in March. I was thinking about buying a little Star Trek like emblem and just flashing it at people and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here!"
No. What you do is you have like a Star Trek thing under your underneath, but then you wear like the Renaissance clothing, and then you just sort of quietly open it and show.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
That's what I'm planning to dress up in full medieval wear.
Wonderful.
Right.
If you guys are good, you might get pictures.
But,
and
always
good. It'll be a better time than the King's Demons.
I can't joke about that. I can't say I'm always good because I'm not.
No, you're not.
No. You see,
I mean, you still won't admit the fact that you're American.
Cat. If I'm allowed to say that I'm not always good because when it's me, admitting my own failings. When you say it about me, it just sounds harsh.
Okay. Well, Cat.
Yeah, but here's the thing: I'm always perfect.
Yeah. Well, Cat, as we all know, always behaved and I've never done anything bad, not even once.
All right, Verska.
Blah blah.
Friska.
Son of a bitch.
Friska.
Fresca.
No.
Fresca.
Friska.
It's funny because 10 years ago, a friend of mine actually did get me the Friska shirt, and I wore that to I wore that. I wore that shirt out basically.
Who the fuck is Friska?
Oh my god! I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but I actually I am so sorry. I'm going to start talking about Homestuck. If you don't know what Homestuck is, you are so lucky.
Yes,
but
do not look into the abyss.
Honestly, it's been broken anyway since I think Funimation or Viz Media bought the rights to Homestuck, so the site's been broken anyways. Ages and ages ago, it was the thing, and there were a lot of people who liked to cosplay and wears the shirts and be trolls and all that stuff. So I had a Car Cat themed shirt because his symbol was the symbol for the astrological sign of Cancer, and I am also a Cancer. I was born in July, so I'm wearing this out. I go to McDonald's to use the bathroom because we had just gotten out from the medieval times thing or something. I honestly forget what we were doing, but we were at a mall. I remember that.
Okay.
So I run in. Guess what was sitting at one of the booths?
A bucket?
Some fucking troll cosplayers. And a Dave. No, not a Dave. His brother. His brother. His brother was sitting there.
Okay, yeah.
And I was just like, I had to pee. I had no time for this bullshit. So the one dressed as what's her name? Terezi was like, "Hi, Car Cat," and I'm like, "Hey, cool. You guys look great. Great costumes. Bye."
This
Nice costumes. I have to go interact with other people now. See you.
Godspeed.
I had to pee so bad, and then it's like I just sort of ran.
Cat said,
Yeah,
Godspeed.
honestly, if I saw a bunch of Homestuck trolls eating McDonald's, that would trigger my fight or flight response.
But it's like that. I think that was the first time outside of a convention that I have ever seen anybody in public dressed as trolls, and I can't believe I never told you guys that story.
Okay, we have derailed this podcast because there's not a lot to talk about in King's
No,
Team,
do you
so-
think?
All right, the TARDIS team. This story is the Fifth Doctor, Tegan, and Turlough. That
Yes.
who has just as of last story broken free of his control that the Black Guardian had on him and is now free to do whatever the fuck he wants. And the first place he finds himself is Earth 1215. And they come out of the TARDIS, and King John thinks that, oh no, they just apparated out of nowhere. They must be demons.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hooray!
They ask what Tegan's name is. Are you Lilith? Which is an interesting reference.
For those who don't know, Lilith was the original Eve, but basically she did some real shit things, and then she got sent down to hell.
Yeah. In the same way that Lucifer.
I am paraphrasing so horribly.
Lucifer, who also
but
gets
I don't
mentioned.
Anyway, they're like, oh hey, it's the king. Let's watch this jousting. And Hugh gets his fucking ass kicked. Estrom is about to kill him with a sword, and the doctor's like, Your Majesty, do we really need to kill this guy? Be nice. Okay.
He basically appeals to the king's King John. By the way, it's King John of England. There's only been one to date.
And I know you mentioned Star Trek and Renaissance fairs earlier, but Hugh must be part Klingon because in response to his life being saved, he's all pissy and bitchy. I've been dishonored! I had vengeance! Ah!
Hugh's an idiot.
He's like, you need to kill me!
The entire fucking family are idiots, as we'll discover soon.
By the way, I may be entirely wrong, and absolutely correct me if I am. Is this the same King John that's mentioned in the Tale of Robin Hood?
Yes.
Oh,
okay,
Brother to
because
King
I know
Richard.
his elder sibling was Richard the Lionheart.
Yeah, brother to King Richard I, and this is why when the Doctor says, he was a good king. He didn't have to accept Magna Carta. We could have crushed that rebellion. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? He was not seen traditionally as a good king. He's seen as a very weak king. He even, as they reference, he even lost his crown jewels in the wash, not the washing machine. This is a body of water in East Anglia, I believe.
Womp.
And when I say the crown jewels, that's not a euphemism either. His actual crown jewels. That joke was so good, it's rendered Cat speechless. Has she actually dropped? Okay, I'll take that as a no.
Good thing you hit the button. I was about to get Jenny to ask if you were okay.
Love you too.
Anyway,
This is turning into Conker's Bad Third Day, and I'm not sure how I like that.
Context sensitive.
okay, another slight derailing. I decided
Slight?
to, follow the whole You know how whenever you get on a wiki and you start following the links and you start learning weird things about the series?
Yes.
This is incidentally how I found out within 2 clicks that Nikola Tesla is canon in Symphogear.
We call this going down the rabbit hole, but carry on,
I
Kat.
would like you to just observe the picture that I have just linked in the chat there.
Is that supposed
That is an image of Missy stealing the crown jewels.
But as drawn by the Mr. Men illustrators.
Yes.
Hey,
The Roger Hargreaves estate. That is amazing.
I don't think Rain heard the. Well, hey, this shit.
I was too busy
That-
guffawing, so no, I didn't hear anything.
Within 2 or 3 clicks, I found out that Nikola Tesla is canon in the world of Symphogear.
I heard that bit.
Yeah.
That might spoil something that I've got to get up to.
No, don't worry. It's the mobile game.
By the way, speaking of that bleep machine from Cat, you for getting me back into Symphogear Season 4, by the way. God damn it!
It's like
Well,
it's like
I
the
mean,
Hotel
if it
California. You can check it anytime you like, but you can never leave.
If it helps, Rain, I got Frez live on air on his own streaming channel to say that if I finished the rest of Symphogear, he would redo How to Full Boyfriend with me. So
And then you did the entire fucking show in like a night.
Yeah, you must.
he is being punished.
You must be made to pay penance for this.
Like, well, fucking,
Yes.
I did not expect the sheer will of your spite.
Sorry, Kachuri's just responded to that. Kachuri just responded in the chat to that. Missy Men.
So, yeah.
Oh, now you
So
got to put it
William,
in 'cause we
well-
reacted.
Wait, that's
Anyway,
it. Not Mr. Men, Missy Men. That's
Y'all,
it.
if we're stuck on a tangent, I should mention that Big Finish just announced that they're doing another audio with Michelle Gomez,
Yeah.
and she's pretending to be a therapist, and she's taking on the case of this troubled Scottish girl. Oh, nobody you heard of, just a pond.
I love the fact the audio cuts out there for Amelia Pond. But
Amelia Pond.
Amelia
as
Pond,
played by
yeah. Played
as
by
played
her
by
genuine cousin.
Caitlin Blackwood.
Yeah. Her debut, would you believe, for the 8th of March, which is a special, is it fair to say pro-feminist box set they do every year?
Wait. Did you say it's coming out in March?
It's called the 8th of March, so yes.
Oh, when
Shit.
It's called the 8th of March, and it comes out on the 8th of March.
Shit.
what is it? Shit.
Because think back to every single March of the past couple of years up to 2020.
Oh,
Something bad has happened every single March.
I guess.
And we're all just braced and ready for whatever happens.
That's a
this
very
year.
cruel way to refer to my birthday.
It's also Chris's birthday, and I'm still saying it. I like her more than I like you.
Wow! I mean, fair enough.
Well,
You grew up with her and you see her every day, so yeah, fair enough. But
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway, King's Demons. Please.
She is like a sister to me.
please, let's carry on with the tangent. No. King's Demons. So, yeah, he was upset. He was upset.
You know I love you.
Oh, no. I mean, would a person who didn't love me send me a Fucoco plushie?
I mean, it could have been worse. I could have sent you the actual game instead, like I threatened.
It wouldn't have been worse. It wouldn't have got played because I played through Violet. I haven't even finished the Pokédex on Violet yet.
I mean, to be fair, you did just point out your birthday's in March.
I mean, I sent you a mirror, Maniac, but that's not.
Yeah, I also pointed out that I wouldn't have time to play it, so I would prefer you send something I can actually get.
Well, my
No.
birthday's not till September, so I have a long way to wait before you throw anything my way again, Kat.
Oh, I know. That's plenty of time to plan.
Oh god.
Yeah, I know. That's what scares me. Please, for the love of God, talk with the King's Demons.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he was upset that his life was spared by the Doctor.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who's very much about honor and everything, while his parents are just happy that he's alive, considering apparently he's their only surviving son.
Yeah, because when the duel was about to be arranged, Reynolds begging him, saying to the king, he's saying, spare my only son, take my goods, take my chattels, take the robes off my back if you must. The robes I stand in. Take my lands, my goods, my chattels, leave the robes I stand in, but spare me my surviving son. And then he talks him out saying, do not dishonor me, father. You idiot! You absolute prize prat!
I mean, to be fair, it's their son. They brought this on themselves.
Wow.
Well, they taught him to be like that. I mean, even later on, the lady is like, he is your son.
Yeah. Also,
we taught him to be like this.
I do love how throughout this whole scene where the Doctor's been talking to Hugh and Sir Ranulph, you can just see the Master hiding behind a pillar, listening in. We don't know he's the Master at this point.
Parents out there, if your children are being little brats, it's your own damn fault. Fix it.
He's still Sigil at this point, but we all know it's the Master because that's a terrible disguise he's wearing.
I couldn't tell which one he was until they got into the sunlight. So again, as long as he's in complete darkness, he's fine.
Isn't that every disguise though? As long as it's in complete darkness, you can't tell who it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where'd this person in the giant bunny costume go? I can't see in the darkness. But the upshot is that Ranulph is grateful to the Doctor because he saved his son. Then he and Tegan get separated from Turlough because he just starts to look out a window.
Because Turlough's an idiot.
Of all the ways to split the party, he just stands too long staring at a window. And then he's...
That isn't even like a truly idiotic thing. He just looks out a window. It's just, oh, this is how they get separated. You look out the window, whatever.
What a view. Why is there a sword at my neck?
I know this entire thing is Ryder's got to eat, but dude, seriously, looking out a window?
Yeah, and
you can't come up with something better than that?
Hugh's got a massive bee in his bonnet now for being saved by the Doctor, so he takes it out on Turlough here.
Well, he also thinks that they're all demons, and it's like, what evil hath you brought?
Yeah. And then we get some exposition to explain what the plot is all about here, because King John being at this castle is very wrong with history. It messes up with his established history. Because at this time, he was taking the Crusaders' oath in London on March the 4th.
Ah, yes, the Crusaders. Yet another part of England's history that is not at all controversial or bad.
It's not just England, in fairness. The Crusaders was an international force.
Oh, I know, but still.
But we're getting the blame. Wonderful.
Hey, you are learning.
The French were involved, the Teutons were involved, but let's all blame the English.
I mean, that's what people do anyways.
Yes. I'm used to it by now.
But also, you'll notice I said it was just another part of England's history. I did not say it was just England.
Yeah, fair enough.
So in fairness, you're calling me out for something I did not say.
All right, fair enough.
Maybe you really are English.
Victory times 2. Listen to the outtakes to figure out what the hell I'm banging on about, because it's funny. So yeah, he's supposed to be taking this oath. So if he's taking the oath in London, how is he here in the castle with Ranulph? Interesting. And this is where they talk about the Magna Carta thing. Because he was forced to say Magna Carta. He wasn't. He could have crushed that rebellion whenever he wanted to. This is not what I know of history. I know of him as a weak king who was easily led, easily manipulated, and backed down in the face of the rebellion, and that's why the Magna Carta got signed. I accept that, okay, he could have possibly crushed the rebellion, but then there'd just be another rebellion. He eventually would be able to beat that one. And as I say, he lost his crown jewels, not those crown jewels, in a river, in the Wash.
He lost the British crown jewels in a wash.
Yes, that's true, because then we had to appropriate some more crown jewels.
Borrow, at best. You plan to return them someday, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I just won't be alive to see it. God, that's depressing.
And now there will the people who had been stolen from. I mean, borrowed from.
That's depressing. That really is quite depressing.
Yeah, just a bit.
Blimey, it's the British Museum with a gun. That's an old throwback.
So anyways.
That's an old throwback to an Indiana Jones parody on Twitter by Alistair King Beckett. He basically has not Indiana Jones, then is confronted by a pompous English explorer and a French explorer, and as they're arguing, he just slips out, and then the British Museum comes up with a gun and it makes him hand over the idol. It's daft, it's funny. But back to the King's Demons then, because we have to.
Unfortunately.
So, Sir Gilles now takes Lady Isabella and puts her in the dungeon. He claims it's to ensure that Ranulph will behave himself in front of the king. And obviously Ranulph protests, but Isabella, the bravest one of the three, let's be honest with him here, just goes with him.
Yeah.
She knows that, do not cause a scene, I'll be fine, just see you later. So she walks off to the dungeon, where he was about to torture poor Turlough.
With an Iron Maiden.
Yeah. This Iron Maiden
They
gets
get
quite a bit
captured.
of mileage.
Wow, that prop. They paid a lot for that prop, apparently.
This prop also
whole
appeared, and
A whole £5.
yeah, this is the reference to the the link to the Blackadder. This Iron Maiden prop turned up in the Blackadder
See.
in the background. That's why people say
Wait.
maybe it was filmed on the set of the Blackadder. It probably wasn't, but it's a fun conspiracy theory. So
Tegan Turlough get locked up in the dungeon too for the hell of it.
But before Turlough gets a taste of the lady, Sir Gilles turns up. He beats Hugh in a sword fight again.
So, I just want to point out, by the way, before we go any further, this story is taking place in the 1200s, right?
1215.
There was no evidence of Iron Maidens before the 18th century, which is the 1700s to the 1800s.
I agree. It was thought to be a medieval
Anachronisms!
implement. Yeah, it was thought to be a medieval
Hooray.
implement, but it turns out it probably wasn't.
Yeah. I just want to point that out just in case there are people out there who be like, but it's not thing, there's no such thing.
There's no such thing as time-traveling blue police boxes either.
No. And there's no such thing as
You
the
gotta-
King's Demons being good either. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just there.
Yes.
That's why I'm finding it so hard to talk about it.
It's kind of terrible in a certain way, but I'll get to that in part two.
But the Doctor has
I don't know,
another
it's
conversation.
kind of, it's interesting. It's interesting to
the
me.
Doctor has another conversation with Ranulph, who is a bit more hostile towards him now, because he thinks that the demons have bewitched his king. They obviously haven't, but he's noticed a change in the behaviour of the king. For example, he never used to surround himself with Frenchmen until Sir Gilles came along. But he doesn't think Sir Gilles is influencing the king or blackmailing him or what have you, so he doesn't know what. He mentions his cousin was summoned to London and he hasn't seen him since. That cousin then turns up.
So Geoffrey de Lacy.
Yeah.
And, and Gilles meets him outside, and it's like, oh, hey, I've just seen the king in London. That's a lie. The king's right here. Arrest this man immediately.
Yeah, here you go. Here's his use of French. He just says non.
He's like
No.
he's like the Oprah of locking people up. You go to the dungeon, and you go to the dungeon.
Oh my god, that's an amazing image.
Everybody goes to the dungeon.
You get tortured and you get tortured and you get tortured.
I mean, it's better than bees.
Yes.
Not the bees. And then our final scene then, our
Dinner
final
time.
main scene is the banquet. And quite a lot happens in this banquet. The jester returns. The king is very amused by the jester.
And then the king plays a song about crushing his enemies.
Yeah, he calls for a lute. And he plays what's referred to as the King's Song, which is an original song written for this episode, this story.
He's not a bad singer, to be fair.
No. Also, absolutely not the actor that's playing the king. I don't think. There was a fact about this because the lute player was not credited what he should have been. Jacob Lindbergh is credited as lute player in the Radio Times. Did he actually do the song? I'm just finding out. Peter Howell, the King's Song. Never mind. Did he write it or did he sing it? But you're right. It's basically about crushing his enemies and going to fight the barbarian hordes and give them a damn good thrashing. I apologise to Gerald Flood. Gerald Flood sang it.
There you go.
The actor did indeed sing it.
Well, dinner's escalating quickly.
Yeah, very much because
Oh hey, it's Sir Geoffrey.
after the king's song, in comes Sir Giles and says, "Some additional entertainment, my lords," and he brings in a Iron Maiden.
We're gonna torture this guy.
Run to the hill. He's brought out the Iron Maiden. Run to the hills. So yeah, they're going to torture Sir Geoffrey in front of the king.
And he's like, "But I just saw you 4 hours ago in London. You're a liar. We're going to torture you."
You're going to die.
And of course, the lord of the place is just like, what? You're going to do what now?
Yeah. And the king's all for it, but the doctor manages to plead for a bit of mercy for Geoffrey. And so, of course, the gauntlet comes out again, and this time, Sigil actually slaps the doctor with it.
I mean, to be fair, wouldn't you?
He didn't just throw it down and wait for someone to pick it up to challenge him. He just slaps him, meaning I challenge you.
Holy shit! Hey, we've done it again! Reboss Operation Part 3! When the breath in the case slaps the doctor slaps him back with a glove.
Yes. I'm disappointed that you didn't mention one of the best parts of funniest parts of that whole story about the doctor caught in the net, by the way.
Oh, that was good. That was.
Always expect the unexpected about it is a midget that caught in a net.
And so then we have our ending of the episode, which is Kat, I think you know what button.
It's fight night. Banger after banger after banger, if you will. It's fight night. And this sword fight is interesting, actually. Yeah. It's well choreographed, and the most interesting thing is who's taking part in the sword fight. Because obviously, it's the Doctor and Sir Giles.
Yeah.
Do you think how many stuntmen were used for this fight?
2?
0.
Let me guess. 0.
0.
Oh.
It was the actual actors the whole time.
Cool.
Which makes it a bit more impressive that they're doing all the moves themselves.
Anyway, they fight. Ooh, it's exciting. Then the Doctor gets the better of Sir Giles. But then he pulls out a tissue compression eliminator. Oh my god! It was the Master the entire time!
Wow,
no one could have ever seen this coming.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, so this is where
emotional damage.
What the hell?
Oh, thank you, Uncle Roger.
When you promised some surprises on that soundboard,
That wasn't Uncle Roger.
When you promised me some surprises on that soundboard, you weren't kidding,
No,
were
it's
you?
not.
I thought emotional damage was
No,
Uncle Roger.
they're two different YouTubers.
Oh, the
So
same person.
What you're basically saying to me is
No.
the damage. The damage. The
Now
damage.
I have emotional damage.
The damage.
Emotional damage.
Yeah,
Oh my
that.
god, that's the same guy who plays Uncle Roger.
It is not. I can promise you that. I'll get you the clips after.
Not for the first time tonight. What the hell?
I thought it was.
Not for the first time tonight, you two. What the hell are you talking about?
Uncle Roger was in some of his videos, so that may be where your confusion comes from.
Yeah, I thought that Uncle Roger was a character that guy played.
No, Stephen He is the guy who does the emotional damage. Uncle Roger is Nigel. Nigel. Yes, Nigel.
I still don't
it's
know.
2 different guys. Okay.
I still don't know what the hell you're on about. But
So
part one is just the guy that looks like the master is the master. What a surprise!
And part 2 is everyone is against the Doctor as the plot demands it.
Well, the part 2 is that Tegan throws a knife. Good God!
I kind of love that there's a line here at the beginning of part 2. The Master's got this. He's got the tissue compression, but Tegan says tissue compression eliminator. It's like a line to telegraph. Look, it's the thing that you know. Now you know what this thing is. It's like instead of oh my god, he's got like a black pointy thing.
Wouldn't it be better to have Symphogear pull that out without being undisguised?
I'm going to ask Rainiac if you please rephrase that, considering that the tissue compression thing looks like a big dildo.
All right.
That's why I said a black.
I will rephrase that. Would it not have been better, more impactful, if the Master was still disguised as Symphogear when he removes from his jacket the tissue compression eliminator? Good enough?
Yes.
Right.
Also, keep in mind that the what are they called? The Fitzwilliams fucking see Symphogear's transform into the Master.
Yeah, they are.
And they're fine with this.
They are selectively dumb.
Just keep this in mind for the rest of the story.
They are selectively blind. This is one of the reasons why
they see that the
story is bad.
This guy that has been antagonizing them is actually this other guy, and he's been disguising the entire time. They see this. They see it. Anyway, yeah. So then we have a thing. The Master is confronted and captured, and the King's like, we'll kill him. And the Doctor's like, oh, I'm a pacifist. I don't kill people. And then the King's like, oh, you must choose, Doctor. We'll kill him or we'll kill you. Choose who will die.
Yeah. But no, it's actually, we're going to put one of them in the Iron Maiden. Is it Symphogear or is it Sir Geoffrey?
Hey, kids, incidentally, did you know that a certain Doctor Who showrunner really liked the Davison era when they were younger? You'll never guess who it was. You'll never guess who it was.
It's Chibnall.
It's Chibnall, isn't it?
Just keep that in mind as you see this moral dilemma play out.
Yeah.
But anyway, the doctor's in action. The Master is thrown into the Iron Maiden, and he screams, arg! Ow, my bones! Ow! Oof! Ouch! And then we hear TARDIS noises, because it was this fucking TARDIS all along.
This is a cool reveal.
Yeah.
This is a cool reveal, because this is what the Master did. He was able to disguise his TARDIS as various objects.
Because his chameleon circuit works.
Yeah, making it superior to the Doctor's TARDIS in that respect. Problem is, he tends to short it out.
Well,
he tends to generate too much power of the TARDIS, and that's why he keeps getting stranded all the time, so it's not that much better.
Well, that's just the Master's usual bullshit.
That sounds almost like human error.
Anyway, with the Master vanquished, the Doctor becomes the King's new champion.
He gets knighted.
Hooray! And his first act is to arrest Sir Geoffrey. Wow, you're really making yourself look good.
He has a reason for it.
No, it's a ploy, I know, but it really doesn't fucking help that he does it like this.
It doesn't.
I mean, I'll grant I can't come up with a better reason in the moment, but it's one of those things, this is the way the plot goes just because it has to go this way. And it doesn't really quite work for me. Like, I understand the mechanic of it. He has to do it this way so that this person doesn't like that person, and so we get the conflict later. I understand the mechanics of it. I just don't agree. Okay, the main crux of it, for me, the problem, the Fitzwilliams their allegiances turn on a fucking dime for no reason other than the story demands it.
And also, they ignore all logic.
Like, oh, the king is being evil. Oh my god, I don't like this new champion. Oh, these people have arrived. Oh, they're obviously why the king is being bad. Oh wait, oh my god, the guy that we don't like turned out to be an evil interloper. Oh, now we don't like him and we trust the doctor. Oh, he said that he's after the doctor. Well, now we trust him and now we want to kill that. Like, it just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, he saved my son from certain death. I'm just going to ignore that.
I saw this man transform into someone else. Oh, but he says that he's after the demons. I instantly believe it. Like, I don't usually complain about this kind of shit, but it's like they just turn on a fucking click like that as the plot demands it.
No, please do criticize it because you're right.
It's messy, and it's an element.
I would like to add something to this messiness right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point of this scene is that the doctor takes Sir Geoffrey and leads him down to the dungeon, and this is going to be his way of, trying to save everybody, get him out, and get to the king and so forth, right?
Yeah.
Why does... I'm just going to say it. It's Chameleon dressed as King John. Why does Chameleon allow this to happen? Because in the end, it turns out that the Master has to get a crossbowman to shoot Sir Geoffrey.
Yeah.
Because they managed to foil his scheme for that little part. So why the hell does Chameleon allow the Doctor to take this guy who could blow open their whole plan down to some place where he can't be seen by himself?
Because the
plot demands
they can just shoot Sir Geoffrey when he goes to London.
That's what I mean. I do not usually complain about this shit because if it's done in a better story, like, a Moffat story, it doesn't matter because you're so engaged. But in a nothing like this, you've got nothing to latch onto, and it just pulls you out of it. It's just like, oh, okay, they're being mean to the Doctor now because otherwise we don't. Feels less like an organic choice made by a living character on the page, and more like somebody making up some bullshit that has to happen because there's got to be a story. And there's a difference.
Like, I'm gonna make a comparison here. There's a really good little vignette, or whatever you want to call it, called The Night of the Doctor. You guys remember that, right?
The Palma Gamma?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So we've got no explanation as to why he's there. We have no explanation as to what's going on. We don't know why he's choosing to do this. We just know it has something vaguely to do with the war. But we don't care about any of those questions because it's such a good little short, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels like it was an attempt way back in the past to do a little short like that where they specifically introduced Chameleon, but they're doing it so poorly that we notice all this shit.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they decided to do it as a two-parter.
It's not even a problem with Chameleon. My main problem is with the Fitzwilliams.
Yeah.
It feels like it feels honestly like a character introduction just so that they can introduce Chameleon.
Which, yeah.
But now we get to a bit that I really object to.
Oh, yeah? Go on.
So, Sir Geoffrey is taken away by the Doctor and Tegan to the dungeon. And as soon as he gets there, he says, "You're no longer a prisoner, Sir Geoffrey. I'm here to help. I am a friend." So that's fine.
The problem we should mention is that before the Doctor gets down here, the Master's TARDIS arrives and it's like, "Hello, I'm the Master. I'm your friend, and I'm here to kill that bastard, the Doctor." And Turlough's like, "Oh, the Doctor's not evil. Shut up! I'm going to free you two, but not you. And I'm going to kill the Doctor because he's bad." And they're like, "Oh, the Doctor's bad? Okay, bye."
Yeah.
And even worse is that the Doctor's stupid scheme with, I'm going to pretend to be mean to Sir Geoffrey so the king trusts me to get down the dungeon. It backfires horribly on him because the Master lets them out, and then they see the Doctor leading Sir Geoffrey at sword point, so all their fucking suspicions are confirmed. It's just comedy errors, misunderstanding bullshit.
Which is just what the Master had planned.
And that shit drives me fucking batty. already in media.
For most
It
of
also
this
doesn't
story,
help that the king is watching, or not the king, but the Lord is watching all this happen, sees the doctor carry off his cousin, and then all of a sudden the master comes back with his wife and son and is like, okay, I'll believe you now.
Yeah, but this is the thing about this. For most of this serial, the master is at least 2 steps ahead of the doctor.
Yeah.
At least 2 steps.
Yeah.
He's got him played like a damn fiddle here.
Yep.
Yeah, the doctor basically plays in all of his plans.
And by rights, the master should really win this.
But the resolution is a little,
A little. The resolution is dumb as fuck.
The resolution is there is no real resolution. But the scene that I object to is this scene here where he frees Sir Geoffrey. That's fine. He frees Turlough. But it's when they discuss the master's motive. Why he's doing this. He's doing this to change the course of history to rob the world of Magna Carta. And he calls it small-time villainy by his standards, but never something I intend to stop at all times possible. If it's all possible. Would this plot not have been so much better, so much more fitting for the monk?
Yeah! I can see where you're coming from.
This is a monk plot!
Yeah, it is a monk plot. Like, I mean, back in these people were very... I will say, Terence Dudley, when he wrote Forward to Doomsday, that story, the pacing of it really feels like an old First Doctor story. Just the way it's paced and shot and all this other shit. So it very much feels like an old hand who remembers the way Doctor Who used to be. I don't know if he remembered the Time Meddler, which the Time Meddler is infinitely better than this, I will say. Even with the really problematic element in the Time Meddler.
I do accept that because in 1977 Peter Butterworth sadly passed away, so they'd have to recast the monk. I get that. But this would still fit the monk better than the master. This doesn't feel big time enough for the master.
No,
Plus,
right.
I would like to point out that the monk was still a Time Lord, so he could have regenerated.
He would retroactively be a Time Lord, which the books and audios basically did anyway. They're like, okay, he's retroactively a Time Lord.
He is because he's described as another native of the Doctor's home planet, which we'll later find out is Gallifrey, and he's a Time Lord, so he's a Time Lord. Yeah. So yes,
he retroactive.
Absolutely,
not
but
like the
it would have suited him better, that character better than the Master.
And I mean, it's 1983. Like, we just had a season with like Time Lords and Omega and the Black Guardians and the Mara came back. It's the 20th anniversary story, so I mean, if you're gonna bring back something from the Heart and Lyra,
and the Doctor, the Doctor is Tegan said, "You're not going to leave the tissue compression eliminator hero for the Master." That's exactly what I'm going to do, Tegan. And Tegan's like, "What?"
Oh yeah,
there's a point to that.
To hack the TARDIS or some shit.
There is a point to that, but it's silly.
It's like sabotaging his TARDIS, basically.
So the Master has now been given command of Reynolds Knights,
the army.
Yeah, Reynolds men at arms and knights.
And his first order: hey, you with the crossbow, kill Sir Geoffrey.
Yeah, because Turlough goes to get Sir Geoffrey a horse.
And he rides off, and then this guy shoots. Now, look, I don't usually do this whole, plotty nitpick. Ding, ding, ding. I solved the fucking thing. I pointed out the plot hole thing. Like,
I do.
You're like ordering This guy gives you command of his men, and it's like, oh, the Doctor's evil. He's plotting after us, and you're like, you can give me your army, okay. And then you're this random soldier, and the first order this guy gives you, hey, kill his cousin. And then it's like, okay. Oh, kill his cousin. Oh, look what the doctor did. Look what the doctor did. Look what the doctor did to your cousin. Oh, he's so bad. He's so evil. Let's kill him.
I will play devil's advocate. The Master has mind control powers.
Which he doesn't display at any time in the serial.
Okay, no. That's right. That's good. That's good enough.
But at least it's a better explanation than what the serial actually gave to us.
They should have showed it, but I can accept that. All right.
Yeah, so the Doctor is now in serious trouble because he tries to use the fact that he's the King's champion to get a group of men-at-arms to help him. And, of course, they've been told to apprehend him, so they do, with the help of Hugh.
Hey, what has he done with Sir Geoffrey? Oh, we sent him to London. Oh, look! He's been fucking shot in the back! You bastard! I'll kill you! I don't trust you!
Well, I mean, to be fair, they haven't discovered that just yet. Right now, they're sort of, dealing with each other.
Yeah. Tegan actually plays a blinder here, however.
Oh,
because they've got the Doctor at Sword Point, they've got Tegan at Sword Point. Turlough at this point is still with the, he's coming back from the horse. He does get apprehended as well after the crossbow is fired. But Tegan plays a blinder because she just confused them. She gets in the TARDIS and says, "I believe Sir Geoffrey may be in the blue engine." And then she said, "I have to open it, or other demons may try to harm you." Obviously, a lie. And to distract them,
we should mention that King John had the TARDIS brought into the castle, so it has been here for a little bit.
The blue engine, that's right.
Yeah.
And Tegan just makes the TARDIS disappear, and in the confusion, the Doctor slips away.
Yes.
And these people are so dumb, they allow it to happen.
So then the Doctor hears some singing. Hey, it's the King's song again. And he opens the door, and what does he see? Oh my God!
It's a robot.
Cursed robot!
This is the most cursed prop in the show's history, I think.
And we don't just mean, the Uncanny Valley aspect of it. No. I am going to quote directly from the TARDIS wiki. This is Chameleon, by the way, a shape-shifting robot from the planet who was on the planet Zarefast, which the Master was stuck on in the previous serial, but he escaped. He literally says that at the beginning of part 2. Oh, I escaped. The Doctor says, "You escaped. Oh my God." But whatever. So this is the shape-shifting robot that the Master is using to pretend to be King John to fuck up history. That's the grand scheme. Whatever. So here's the thing with this robot. I'm going to read directly from the TARDIS wiki because I'm at this. Let's just get that. Let me just get this thing here. Where the hell is it? Oh, that's because I was on the story page and not the Chameleon.
I should have pointed out, by the way, it's Chameleon with a K. Because, of course, it is.
With a K. Because we're being cool and spacey. Ooh.
I also would like to point out, while Frez finds the section he wants to read out, on TARDIS Wiki, this part where the Doctor confronts the King, it says, and I quote, "After a series of mishaps, including the death of Sir Geoffrey at the Master's hands, the Doctor..." Sir Geoffrey, whatever. Shut up. The Doctor confronts the King and the Master and discovers the truth.
Yes.
After a series of mishaps, including the death.
Yeah, including a murder.
A series of mishaps.
That's how little the story... You can just sum it up as, it's a series of mishaps. Just something bad happened.
TARDIS Wiki, not entirely bothered to write an accurate description.
I mean, honestly, can we blame them to fucking talk about the King's demons in great detail?
But on the one hand, no. On the other hand, they wrote a wiki.
Anyway.
But yeah,
I found the quote I'm looking for.
Go ahead.
In their tongue-in-cheek reference book, Doctor Who, the completely useless encyclopedia, Chris Howarth and Steve Lyons write that an examination of Chameleon's history reveals the possible existence of a curse of poltergeist proportion. Both Terence Dudley and Peter Grimwade, who scripted the robot companion's appearances, have died. So too have Chameleon's human alter egos, Gerald Flood and Dallas Adams, who played his Howard Foster form for most of Planet of Fire. Chameleon's software designer, Mike Power, was killed shortly after the decision was taken to include the robot in the series. Craig Hinton, who penned the missing adventure The Crystal Bucephalus, which featured Chameleon prominently, later died of a heart attack at the age of 42 in 2006. Even Robert Holmes, the writer of The Caves of Androzani, which features an illusory chameleon, died in 1986.
So they're saying that this robot is more cursed than Tutankhamun, basically.
I'm just going to link a little something here for us all that we might need and for doing this podcast, and you might need for listening to this podcast. I think we need a dose of Immunity Cat.
Immunity Cat?
Now that you've seen Immunity Cat, he is forever with you.
If you don't repost, he will kill you? What?
Yeah. Chain letter bullshit.
Oh, I see. This is a protection against it.
Yes, this is magical protection. Immunity Cat will protect us from the chameleon curse.
Okay. Wrong chameleon.
Yeah, wrong chameleon.
It's not
Nope.
that chameleon, but yeah, basically the master introduces the Doctor to Chameleon, and Chameleon responds by transforming into Scorpion and hitting the Doctor with an uppercut.
No, actually, he transforms into the king, and then to show off his shape-shifting power, he transforms into the Doctor. Oh, hey, there's 2 doctors in this scene. Hey, Cat, you know what button you should hit?
I'm seeing double. 4 Peter Davidsons.
Doctor Who Mirror Alert. Doctor Who Mirror Alert. That's a good button.
I'm seeing double. 4 Peter Davidsons.
And 4 Anthony Ainleys, yes.
Yeah, the robot transforms into basically the principal cast.
So, yeah, Chameleon was part of an invasion of the planet Zarephax, which featured in the Master's last appearance, Time Flight. So, and this is basically the way that they wrote the Master to have escaped again, by using this shape-shifting robot. I don't know how the fuck he used it, I don't care. Now he's got a shape-shifting robot and it's like, I'm going to fuck up history, just because.
Again, this is a monk plot, but...
Anyway, it's
Because
time for the
blood dictated
resolution.
it.
How's about the resolution of the story? What are we going to do to stop the Master's evil plan?
We're going to give our viewers a seizure!
Oh boy!
This was terrible. Essentially, it's a battle of wills between the Doctor and the Master. And Chameleon is shown to have a mind of its own, and it's trying to break free of the Master, I guess.
It's Chameleon is like easily manipulated. I guess.
What's the phrase that's used? I've got the transcript here. Psychokinetic circuitry.
Yeah.
Can I just say, this is still the stupidest thing I've ever seen. The entire scene is the Doctor and the Master staring at each other with Chameleon between them, and flashes of their faces come up on the screen every so often. That is the entire scene. That's it.
It's a
And
mind
this is supposed to be
battle.
some big, yeah, this is supposed to be some big sort of mind fight, one could say.
This is also why, by the way, the tissue compression eliminator was left behind, because it means the Master can't use it to gain the upper hand. It's just a mind fight. And as I say, I'm not going to put it on the screen because I actually respect the right of our viewers to not have seizures. But the cuts...
This is basically this is the scene, and you know.
Yeah, the constant, yeah, that's basically the scene. The constant camera cuts are just painful here.
Yes.
That's also accurate, yes.
A meme for everything. A meme for everything.
Also, I have to suggest that people check out Tom Cardy. He does a great song called Mind Fight.
Yeah.
Hardy.
Tom Cardy's pretty good.
I may have linked it.
Human centipede.
Is he the one that did No More Fucks to Give? Or was that somebody else?
There might have been somebody else. I don't remember that one.
I have no more fucks to give. My cup has runneth over, and I've got no fucks to give.
That's somebody else.
I don't work here, but if I did, I wouldn't.
I would not sell
shit.
you shit.
He sounds pretty great. I'll be sure to check out Mind Fight song when we're finished
My
here.
favorite Tom Hardy is the prank they do on the radio DJ.
Oh my gosh, yes,
But-
that was amazing.
But basically,
For context, they pretend they're debuting a new song by Tom Hardy, but it's specifically just a song about all the weird
The
things
radio host.
this guy does.
But-
And it slowly wraps up as he's sitting there going like, is this a song about me? No, it's just about weird guys' joke. And then it gets hyper specific.
basically, then the battle was interrupted by the Fitzwilliams, because of course it is. Chameleon transforms into the king in just the nick of time, so they don't see him at first. He gets them to boil the Doctor in oil. That's the command. But then, just as that's happening, the battle wheels continues, and he goes all blurry and misty.
going on here? That's not the king.
And I think the Fitzwilliams have left at this point.
They left, and then they
Yep.
came back just as all this starts happening.
Yeah, so they're like, what the hell is going on here?
What are you doing to the king? And the master's like, it's the doctor! Kill him!
And just then, Tegan shows up.
Tegan shows up in
Yeah,
the
'cause-
TARDIS. Then
at
Chameleon
this
turns
point-
into Tegan.
And at this point, the doctor makes the best decision he's made all story.
He just grabs
He
the
gets
robot
the
and says,
fuck out
yeah,
of
he
here.
grabs the
Fuck
robot and
this
says,
shit,
I'm
I'm
out
out.
of here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Frez. Did you reference something that I might have on the soundboard?
I might have.
Let's try that then. He grabs the robot and...
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me.
Perfect timing.
I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
For some absolutely insane reason, the Doctor thinks, I know, I'll grab the killer robot that nearly got me boiled in oil and take it back to the TARDIS.
Oh, congratulations! It's your new companion!
They also just let the Master escape.
They don't even let the Master escape. They just fucking leave him in 1215.
No, but he
surrounded by
immediately
guards.
runs into his own TARDIS.
Yeah,
Which,
well,
how the fuck he managed to do that, I have no idea.
they-
But he manages to get down to his TARDIS.
They claim that he's left the compression, the compressor activated, which will mess up the dimensional circuits. He'll end up anywhere he wants to go, anywhere except where he wants to go.
Okay,
That
I
doesn't
gotta
happen.
mention. I gotta mention this because this is really weird. Okay, so like at first I thought that this is a perfect lead-in to what happens next because have you ever seen the story Planet of Fire?
No.
No.
Okay, so you mind if I spoil a part of Planet of Fire?
If it's referring to the
Go
robot,
ahead.
yes, I know about this, so
It's
go
not.
ahead.
It doesn't involve the robot. It involves the Master.
Go ahead.
The Master in the story is controlling Chameleon again because he had an accident with the tissue compression eliminator and he's been shrunken. So he's actually very teeny tiny. So with the whole idea of the Doctor plugging it into the TARDIS, I thought, oh, is that what the other writer picked up on? And because it goes from here to there? But that's all fucked up because the next time we see the Master is the 5 Doctors.
Yeah.
So it's like, that doesn't work. I don't get it. But we're back in the TARDIS, and Chameleon's our new companion, everybody.
Yeah, and if that ending wasn't already fucked up, the doctor immediately turns to Tegan and says, hey, you're going home now.
Well,
What?
First of all, Tegan is really not happy with the idea of Chameleon being on board the TARDIS, which is not
Wow, I
entirely
wonder
unjustified
why she would hate that.
because of what, albeit under the control of the Master, the robot just put them through in the previous adventure. But Turlough says, I don't mind if it stays, and Doctor says, right, you're outvoted, Tegan, and now you're going home.
What? But I don't want to go. Nope. I've already set the coordinates to Earth. Okay, you're going home. Bye-bye. See you
Because
later.
she says,
What the hell?
the robot says, where will I be quartered, Doctor? Doctor says, you can have my room for all I care. Doctor says, well, I'm taking you home then. What the hell?
But it's like this weird fucking bluff where it's like, oh, well, me and Turlough and our new robot friend will go to the Eye of Orion. You'll go to Earth. No, Doctor, I want to go to the Eye of Orion. So set the coordinates. Oh, yeah, I already did. I was just joking, Tegan.
That's what this episode ends on, is this weird sort of fake out. And it's like, it makes no sense.
No, Fake Out was played by
Writers
Barack
got
What
it.
is this?
No, Fake Out was played by Barack Stemmis in The Timeless Children.
And that is the last. That's basically the last we see of Chameleon until Planet of Fire, which basically exists to write him out. Because
Can I spoil
yeah, we
something
forgot
about this
that.
robot?
Oh, go ahead.
So it's the new companion. We see it exactly one more time, and it dies.
Yeah.
It's
Because, as we said, it was cursed and they didn't know how to operate the thing, so they just didn't fucking use it.
It's addressed off camera in 5 Doctors. So it's. But basically, Chameleon's role is to stay in a broom cupboard in a TARDIS.
Like, okay, I understand the tragedy of, oh no, the man who designed this advanced robot died and we don't know how to control it. I understand that. On the other hand, you're a writer and you have a shape-shifting robot!
Yeah.
You make up some technobabble bullshit about it sticking to one form, and then you just cast somebody as the robot.
Can I just say?
And it's like I just went ahead and counted. Planet of Fire is the 5th serial in season 21, which means there's at least 4 episodes, including the 5 Doctor, that we have to watch before we get to the resolution to this whole chameleon bullshit.
And he's in none of them.
And I mean, we've already seen some. We've seen Warriors of the Deep and Frontios and
5 Doctors
and 5 Doctors.
Now he
He
was meant to be in a cameo in The Awakening. And the scene was cut for time, so...
Also, you guys are missing the most obvious thing. Like, okay, maybe they don't want to cast an actor and they want to use this very expensive puppet, but they can't because the people who can control it keep fucking dying. Why don't you just make an excuse like, oh, he's staying on the TARDIS because his power supply got damaged, and the only way he can get power to his body is by being connected to the TARDIS power supply.
Here's the thing. I think...
That would explain him away.
I think the idea of a robotic companion is one that's got legs. I think it's one that could be revisited in the future. Just not this robot, but there's something there. There is.
I mean, they brought back Beep the Meep. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring that in at some point.
Oh yeah, we can say that. Okay, but I want to also bring up something what Kat just said about, oh, if you don't want to use the robot, just bullshit some reason as to why you don't want to use him in the story. Kat, that's what they did with K9 in half the stories.
Yeah, but can I finish my point?
Yeah, but K9 was actually useful and worked.
Yeah, he was useful.
Operated by people.
You understand what I mean? When K9 was too much of a pain in the ass to use, they actually did justify why he's not there instead of saying, "Oh well, Doctor Who just forgot about K9 this week because we don't give a shit."
Could I finish?
Which makes no sense to me because presumably somebody spent a lot of money on this model. It is a pretty advanced model for the time, and yet they never show it at all.
Rainiac,
just explain it away.
Yeah. I got another point to make on that, but Rainiac...
Could I finish my point about Chameleon, please?
Okay.
Yeah, so
yes, please.
The point is, I think, particularly in modern-day Doctor Who, the idea of a robotic, or at least cyborg companion, has legs. I think you could do a lot with that.
Hey Rain, you remember how I said... I said it on the show. You remember what I said about coming up with the baby aquatic Silurian before?
Yes.
Guess what else I have? An android companion.
Okay.
So, like...
By the way, I just read this bit on TARDIS Wiki. So it's like a normal Wikipedia page where it has a little blurb about the actual episode, and then it gives you a synopsis and plot and so forth.
Yeah.
In the little blurb, it says, narratively, it ends with an unusual one-way retrospective cliffhanger. That is, it's only visible of the 5 Doctors as seen immediately after Demons.
Yeah.
At the conclusion of Demons, the Doctor promises to take his companions to the Eye of Orion. Since the Doctor often makes promises of future adventures at the end of stories, this doesn't appear to be a cliffhanger at all. It's only by seeing the 5 Doctors that the audience realizes he's kept a promise made in the previous story. Perhaps more crucial is the notion that the Master we see in the 5 Doctors has been recalled to Gallifrey immediately after his 13th century defeat by the 5th Doctor, a fact that, once known, can subtly change the viewer's perception of certain scenes in the 5 Doctors. No, it fucking doesn't.
Oh my god, wait a minute. I just read something interesting on TARDIS Wiki as well about Chameleon.
Oh, yeah?
There's a featurette on the DVD release of The King's Demons which claims that the prop was not custom built for Doctor Who. It was a device discovered by John Nathan Turner as he was searching for a possible successor to K9.
Oh my god.
And both Eric Saywood and Peter Davison were extremely skeptical that the robot would work as a companion due to the frequent malfunctions. So for once, Eric Saywood was right.
So wait, let me get this straight. So he went out and he essentially found the Doctor Who version of fucking Annabelle.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Essentially, yes.
White people, stop walking into haunted buildings.
Megan with a 3?
White people? Why white people?
Watch any horror movie that has been made, except for a select few, which were usually made, by people of color who actually give people of color a chance to be something more than the first person that dies in a horror movie. Every single horror movie that you can watch, more than likely, has some white people who go into the haunted place or decide to live in a haunted house or pick up the haunted artifact and be stupid with it.
Yeah.
Exception, of course, Jordan Peele. Great.
Jordan Peele, the great
director.
Jordan Peele and his fantastic movies. Seriously.
Great. I still really need to see Nope.
I mean, she did say apart from films actually written by people of color, so that definitely falls into
category. But yeah, if we're talking horror films made by people, Jordan Peele, top notch.
So what did we all
Amazing.
think? So what did we all think of the King's Demons then? Dare I ask?
If I may?
You may.
No, it's like it's not like offensively bad Doctor Who. Like it doesn't actively make me spit up bile like some other stories. But it's just spectacularly mid. Just there's barely anything here. And what's here is a whole runaround of capturing and escaping and people being dumb and changing allegiances on the fly as the story suits it rather than for any organic reason. The robot is kind of a cool idea, but unfortunately was not executed for shit. Like, I can imagine, like, a character arc for that robot where, like, the companions don't trust him at first, but then, they slowly learn to trust, and the shape-shifting skill set is used to effect in the stories. Like, you have a really good idea there with a shape-shifting fucking robot and you don't use it. You fools! They squandered a great idea and instead are just like, and I'm going to say the word because that's what they said. Instead of, oh, we got a shape-shifting robot, what kind of great ideas we have? Let's bring back the Silurians and the Sea Devils and make them go bang bang shoot shoot! No wonder this fucking show died. Because of middling bullshit like the King's Demons. Hard pass.
Okay, Kat?
You could go ahead, Rainiac.
I'll go ahead?
You go ahead. Yeah.
Spectacularly mid is a very good way to describe this. The very worst thing for me that a Doctor Who episode can be is not really bad, because even the really bad ones are interesting to talk about. It's when there's just nothing to them, like the King's Demons. It's when they're just so middle of the road and nothing happens in it, and very little happens in this. And it should have been a monk story, not a master story, but I understand why they probably went with the more recognisable villain with the master. I understand that. There's probably a contract that, he's got to do this many episodes on his contract or whatever have you. Doesn't change the fact that this had a really interesting premise and they do nothing with it. Come on. King John being impersonated by a robot to mess up the Magna Carta, you can do so much with that. But it's let down by them doing nothing with it and by the Fitzwilliam clan being so unbelievably stupid. And it's not even like, they misinterpreted the script. They're written that way. I've read the transcript myself. They are written that way. They're meant to be stupid. And it just messes up everything. So yeah, I hadn't seen this one, and I wish the pressure had been indefinitely postponed. It's not good. Kat?
Yeah, it's like, I agree. This was a dumb as fuck episode. Serial, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I honestly picked it just because I wanted to get Chameleon out of the way, because the Chameleon story is just fucking ridiculous. And, I had no idea it was this bad. I was just thinking, oh, it's a two-parter. We'll take less time on it, and then I'll be able to go and do other stuff. It's like, God, I wish I just put off the other stuff now. I think that we can sum up this serial in, two small little words.
Emotional damage.
I still don't know where that's from, but...
I linked it in the chat. You'll be able to watch it.
Well, I'll be able to, but will I?
Yes, because it's hilarious.
Okay. Speaking of emotional damage then, I believe at long last it's my pick again.
Yeah.
Because Kachira's not here. And my last couple of picks were modern day Doctor stories, so I didn't want to do that again. Not so soon. and because I'm waiting on a particular person to be available to do a modern day Doctor story with us. So it's not that. But we've done the Fourth Doctor recently, or you did it in my absence. We've done the Third Doctor. We've done the Fifth Doctor this week. We've already finished 6 and 7. We haven't done too much of the Second Doctor, have we?
Oh God, you are doing it.
Why don't we rectify that? And am I wrong in thinking there's a particular Second Doctor story that a friend of ours really enjoys?
You're gonna make Mike really happy, aren't you?
What's the name of that story, Frez?
Frontios?
I know the story. It's called Power of the Daleks.
No, what's the actual name of the story?
Frontios. I'm sorry, it's not Frontios. It's Final Fantasy VII.
He's referring to despair.
I'm feeling despair.
He's referring to the
By the way,
Dominators.
I just want to point out that Chris has actually gotten me the Sephiroth amiibo, so I'm very happy.
Fantastic. So
Nice,
the story that
nice.
Frez is purposely trying to avoid speaking about is the Dominators. So next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Petra Trenton stars in the Crotons.
Yeah, fuck out! Go!
That would have been so much easier for you if you just said the name of the other serial, then we could have got that out of the way.
Said the name of another cereal when you were like, no.
No, I said the name of the serial that I was doing the fake out for, and then we could have finished it off.
I don't know what cereal you're doing a fake out for.
By the way, Mike, don't worry, we will get to that story eventually, but there's a reason why I'm holding that off.
No, we fucking won't.
And
I won't like it, but we'll get to it, maybe.
well, you don't have to be here when it's
It's all right.
done.
Hey, Frez. Frez, you have a choice. Do I push the press to annoy Rain button or the press to really annoy Rain button?
Really annoying.
I have a that doesn't really annoy me. I actually kind of like it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I thought that was called She's Here. Not really annoy me.
It's called She Comes, excuse you.
That's it, sorry. She comes.
That's okay, I'll just click the one that's labeled YouTube Crimes.
Oh, come on! I like having a channel, damn it.
I'm so glad most of that cut out. I didn't hear a single thing.
There is a reason I've picked the Crotons, and I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to spoil the surprise. It might even be something you don't pick up on yourself, but you will pick up on it when I mention it next week.
I mean,
I wouldn't pick it up myself because I'm keto.
Because I personally think this particular thing is unintentionally hilarious.
Well, I mean, I've seen the Crotons.
I thought it was hilarious the first time I watched it during the Doctor Who Twitch marathon, and I think it's hilarious even now.
Okay, the Crotons is fine. It's more Gonzo Troughton than Trad Troughton, so I'm on the right. It's on the right side.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to be very surprised.
Go into it. Go into it blind.
Okay. We'll do that then.
Okay, and I believe I've got some things to plug, have I not?
Yes, please. Where can you find us lovely people?
You can find us on Twitter @ReviewsDoctor. Individually, we are @RainiacTheManiac, @Freezing Inferno, @Concave Usurper, and @The Kachiri. You can also find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rainiac, /Freezing Inferno, /Concave Usurper, and /The Kachiri again, is it? Or
I think it's the Kachiri.
I'll just double check. I believe it is. If that doesn't work, you just try /Kachiri. But I think it's the Kachiri. By Terror Through the Trees by Sean Dillon, our good friend. By Better Than Inferno Volumes 1 and 2, and soon to be this year Volume 3, I think.
It's in the works.
It's in the alright, so it may not be this year, I'll be next year, but by Krista Bittier, and Volume 3 is in the works, and that's the volume that Frezno is really
Krista,
really
don't put it out in March. Do not put it
just
out
don't
in
put it out in
March.
March. Yeah. And I think that's everything, unless you've got something to plug for this week.
Well, yeah, I've been doing some writing. On my blog this week, you can find part 2 of an impossible dream awaking fire, where I talk more about Twin Peaks. And I've got a very special post that'll go up tomorrow as we're recording this, but it'll be up by the time that you are hearing this, viewers. I've done a little log of the Criterion Challenge, where you watch a bunch of classic movies and talk about them. So look forward to that, because I watched some good stuff by fine directors like Orson Welles and David Lynch.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So look forward to that. Anything else?
I've got nothing because I'm very busy at the moment.
I might start streaming again as soon as we get better internet. But that's about it.
That's good.
Yay.
I should probably. I mean.
So everybody, catch my first stream where I forced Freezing Inferno to come and help me had a full boyfriend.
You're really opening with that?
Look.
With my friend Chris.
You got me.
So then we'll have more people doing voices.
I had no sympathy for you.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. You got me back into Symphogear just in time to see the return of Dr. fucking Ver. How dare you! I thought he was gone.
He is, but he's a brain god now.
It's the double whammy of him and that Nastasia being an absolute bitch to Maria. Why?
Oh yeah, this I don't like this arc.
And this ridiculous thing is like, oh, but she actually cared for you. She was just toughening you up. No, she abused you for years.
Yeah.
No, but see, Rain, it's okay. It's okay because she's got tomatoes.
She's a tomato. She grew during the hardship, and it's okay because she turned out good in the end. So it's fine because her abuser was really sad. She had to whip her.
I hate that the tomato thing, which is actually really kind of sweet, out just isolated, is the payoff to that because it ruins it.
Yeah, you and me both.
You have this wonderful
to the choir here, Rain.
You have this wonderful little side scene where they've saved this woman who grows tomato plants. And she's like, I never tried tomato. Have one, and then Maria has like a food orgasm. And
wait, Cat. Since we're talking about the show, somehow I think you need to hit that button. Anyway, Rainiac, say goodnight.
Good night. And thank you for listening to us talk about the King's Demons. We somehow stretched a very short, very nothing 2-part serial into quite a long podcast. That'll be all.
We bullshitted about everything but because there's nothing here.
We were stalling for time, but there's nothing here. At least there is something about the Crotons. I will say that much.
You're hyping up something. I'm not sure what it is, but you're hyping up something.
You may not even notice it because culture, but. It's not something that's specifically in the plot of the story, I will say that. It's like a coincidence, but it's a funny coincidence.
Okay.
So we'll see if you spot it, and if not, I'll be sure to point it out multiple times next week. So thank you for listening to us talk about the King's Demons, and join us next time for the Crotons. And don't worry, Mike, we'll get to the Dominators in the end.
Yeah, and I'll play Wizard of Oz on Super Nintendo. Not.
Don't make promises that you don't intend to keep. And
I said not. I did a not. That's clearly. Okay. I'm not playing that game.
Sorry, Mike. Until next time, bye for now.
So, please, launching King's Demons.
No.
Please, let me get the telephone.
Please let him get the telephone, yes.
Bruh.
Yes. What's that from? Is it just like a random sound effect?
It's just a random sound effect. I added some new things. And I renamed some things, too.
That almost sounds like a threat.
Y'all have doubled his price.
Guys, you could book a live video call with Colin Baker for $390.
Why would Oh God.
I mean, think of the cost of living crisis, but yeah.
Cat, no.
Question: would our silly little podcast count as a live video call or a business video? Because a business video is $525.
I'm not telling you.
It might be worth it.
Doctor Who Reviews LLC.
I'm not telling you, Tim.
Under no circumstances should you get me in the same audiovisual space as Colin Baker.
I mean, that's the thing. You would have to show your face on camera.
I've done that before. I'll do it again.
No,
he means me.
Kat would have to show her face on camera.
Frez, he means me.
I mean, Kat, who is very reticent to put her face on camera.
I see.
Well, for now.
Oh, God damn it.
Wait,
God damn
wait
it.
Wait a minute. If it's a... Well...
I mean, we've
We'll
done all the
find out
we've
soon.
done all the Colin Bakers.
Oh, God. It's funny because Colin Baker haunts the story because Anthony Ainley says to Peter Davison, "Oh, Doctor, it's almost time for you to regenerate. You should become Colin Baker, then you can deal with this shit."
Oh God, he does haunt this story. No!
Can you imagine? Yeah. "Oh, Doctor, you should regenerate." Okay, and then he regenerates and he's erratic Colin Baker and he starts choking Anthony Ainley to death.
Yes.
This is what you wanted, isn't it? You alien spy!
They should have included that on the outtakes.
Oh, God.
We have revealed a dangerous truth to me today, and it's only $390.
I didn't reveal shit to you.
No, but we did it as a team. Anyways, let's move on to the demons.
Yes.
We did it as a
Segue.
team. Frez and I are touching a basket this. We didn't do anything.
Look, if it's something good, we all did it as a team. If it's something bad, you two did it. That's the way this works.
Oh, I see. Delegation of blame.
You are British, to be fair.
Yes!
I think.
Yes!
Allegedly.
But I'm in control of the edit, so I can cut that bit out. Yes! Victory!